You look concerned.
Tired.
Oh, how come? Up partying all night?
Yeah, you know me. When you guys go to bed, I find the nearest rave. Just glow stick my way to the morning.
Do they have raves anymore?
I don't know. I'm old. They're probably called something different.
I know Maya was talking about the 1900s again last night. What were we talking about?
She was insulting us on the drive home that we didn't know what we were talking about because we were both born in the 1900s.
Yeah, but about what topic?
I don't know. I wasn't listening up until she insulted me.
I don't know. This morning she was making fun of me because I had burned stuff onto CDs.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
like,
is hilarious considering she loves the fact that her car has a tape deck and wants to buy tapes.
I know. And I said, well, CDs are better than cassettes. And she's like, that's the other thing. You had cassettes too. So I'm just proving my point. Oh, but last night was brutal because it was something like that I feel we are legitimately knowledgeable about.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Yeah. Only thing, maybe this is another topic. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it for another topic. I was just going to say how disheartened I am with parents again. I know we've talked about it before, but.
So you're just going to throw it out there and we'll just put it in the parking lot, eh?
Well, no. I'll talk about that, but just disheartened with other parents, like when it comes to sports. Just one of the moms being snooty to Willow yesterday, who's cheering her sister's team on, who's 11 years old.
Yeah.
And the opposing team's mothers talking smack to her.
Parents continue to be the worst part of any childhood in any capacity.
Sorry to every single parent who listens.
No, they need to hear this. Everyone listening to this that has kids, you're the problem. We are the problem. I've been the problem before.
Yeah.
But on a grand scale, nothing messes up a kid's adventure or endeavor like a parent.
True.
And while some parents will cringe, don't feel I was far off base with what I told her to say to that lady the next time she spoke to her.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt she ever would. But man, would it be awesome to watch.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree with you. It's a continuation from what we saw last year in sports, right?
Yeah.
And we saw again today.
Yeah.
Right? This overwhelming, crushing need of parents to, I don't even know what the lesson is. Like, so for context, our kids both had games. Both were not in our favor to a large degree. The one today got out of hand quick, and the parents were still yelling at their kids to finish their checks and skate hard and keep shooting on people. And
even though it was a way bigger team that's a different level from our kids, it was just a fun exhibition game.
Yeah. They came in and they smashed our girls. I think at this point it was probably 11-2. And they were still yelling, and the coaches didn't, I think, handle things well. And everybody says, when you complain about this, it's only when you lose. Sure. Okay. We're losers. We're whining. Sucks to lose. But when you can hear the bench still screaming at the girls to take it to the net and shoot at 13-14 and 15-2, mm-hmm. when you're playing a team a level down from you, that's just classless. I don't care what level. I don't care who you are. It's classless. And to walk away thinking you accomplished something that day, yeah, you showed every single one of us that all of you are trash. So, and it sucks because you're right.
Well, even I remember that happened last year. We were playing a level. Maya's team was, I guess it was 2 years ago, playing a level up. Mm-hmm. U14s were playing U16s. And even the 14s were beating them, but they still stopped and changed goalies and mixed things up so that it wasn't so, even though they were playing the older girls, right? And I know in the past, we had good coaches who would stop and say, okay, even if it's a season game, girls were crushing this other team, let's 3 passes before you shoot or whatever. But my point, we've had problems with parents screaming at kids and that while they're on the team. This wasn't even Willow was just an observer cheering on her sister's team and getting cat called and stuff. So that was disheartening. She's here she's taking 4 hours because we had to drive out of town to be there, to just be upset within the first 5 minutes because of parents. But anyway, that's my rant.
No, that's a legit rant.
Yeah.
That mom is trash. Full stop. And I bet her kids are going to grow up. Because it's interesting. We're listening to a book right now. You'd probably really like it. Because it's pretty much a dude saying everything that you've told me over the years. But he continually comes back to the one point of the demonstrated activities and behaviors of the parents do more for your kids over time. So he's talking about, his name's Joe DeSena. And he talks, it's the 10 rules of resilience for families. And it's literally every chapter. I'm like, oh yeah, Caroline's talked about, oh yeah, Caroline's talked about that. But every chapter he comes back and he talks about the demonstratable piece, right? Mm-hmm. As parents, if you want your kids to be this, you need to be this. And it's funny that you brought that up yesterday, because as he was saying this, as I was listening to it today, I'm like, yeah, there are so many people who are demonstrating how to be a bad person under the guise of being a good parent. Like that person legitimately thinks that she was in the right and she's great and she's doing whatever. Maybe she's not good. But yeah.
But then would have expectations of her kid to speak nicely, be respectful,
100%, 100%. But in her mind, who's this little kid who's a brat? I'm going to put her in her place. Well, first of all, don't ever talk to my kid. Don't ever talk to my kid. Second, don't ever talk to my kid in a way that's demeaning to her. Yeah. Or expect my kid to respond in kind, because that's how I've taught them. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to be disrespectful, but at no point are you ever to be mistreated by someone that doesn't deserve respect. That lady doesn't deserve respect, right? And yeah, it's really, really disheartening to see how bad people are at just being even remotely decent. Mm-hmm. Over and over and over and over again. It's just they fail at every opportunity.
And I just don't get it, because I've had times where our girls are crushing the other team and I'm crying for the goalie, right? But parents just don't seem, not all parents, but certain parents just don't seem to have that remorse or thoughtfulness for both teams, But
so and you're right, it's not all parents, but as the stuff that happened last year taught me, it is all parents, because you're in one of two camps. You're a parent that acts like that, mm-hmm. or you're a parent that lets other parents act like that, right? It is very rare for there to be a third camp of someone saying, no, that's not acceptable. Hey, guys, let's quiet it down. Let's show some respect. Did you hear a single person in the crowd of either game say that when it got away from? No. Yeah. Crush them.
Yeah.
Crush them. Right? Cool. And the other part of it, like the Willow thing aside, the girls came off the ice in pretty good spirits, mm-hmm. right? So credit to the coaches for keeping their headspace perfect and say, don't worry about it. Let's focus on what we can do. No big blowups, no big temper tantrums. The girls weren't crying. There was no big emotional outbursts after the game. But they knew they played teams that acted poorly.
Yeah.
Right? Like Willow made a comment about that.
Yeah.
She's like, as we were walking to the car leaving, she's like, well, that wasn't that much fun.
Yeah.
I said, you okay? She's like, yeah. She's like, how did she put it? She went, yeah, we did our best and we just kept pushing back on them, even though they should never have played us like that. And they shouldn't play us because they're too big. Like they're just too big of a team.
Like Maya's size.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
There were girls that legit drove themselves to that rink because they were bigger than the officials. Yeah. Like it was insane.
And we're talking U12 here.
Yeah, we're talking what's supposed to be an 11-year-old standing over 6 feet tall with a wrist shot that is more powerful than anyone I've seen on the U16 teams. Like it was sick.
Pulled U19s down to U16s. That team, or like that association is known to do that. But anyways, regardless.
But it's just.
I try to, if I'm there, like I just think of the dog park. Mm-hmm. It was a man, more on the sensitive side, part of the LGBTQ2AI plus community.
I'm impressed. I do not know the new term.
Okay.
That's impressive.
And very, very upset And we just started talking. He's like, man, there's just a woman who's just like, she's going for a run and she keeps yelling at me about the dog. And he's like, oh my gosh, here she comes again. So I guess she was just going up and down the dog park. It's just one path, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, she starts screaming at him. He better have his dog. And I'm like, lady, this is a dog park. If you don't like dogs running,
go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. And she stopped and started screaming because he wasn't. He started already. I mean, this is a full grown man. And she was an older lady, just totally bullying him. And so I stood up. Oh, actually, I think you were ahead because the girls went and ran on and told on me.
Ran and said, Mommy got into a fight.
Well, it was shocking for them because they've never seen me stand up for anybody.
They've seen me do it, but it's rare that you would.
But I mean, it's because it was right there.
Totally.
Right? Like I wouldn't go, if I ran into him 5 minutes later, I wouldn't go find her.
Yeah,
but it just happened to be right there.
Yeah.
And she stopped. I can run wherever I want. I'm like, 100%, you absolutely can. However, if you don't want dogs running after you, this is not the place. Like, even if you just go 20 feet that way, you won't be right where all the dogs are. And they're going to chase. They like chasing.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah.
Oh man, she was and she's just swearing and went off. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, yes, she can 100%. It's a beautiful pathway. She can definitely run there, but you got to know that you're in a dog park and dogs are free. They're off leash. And it's not like it was because she's like, you got to control your dog. It should come right to you. And
sure.
Yeah, it kind of did, but it's also checking out the person who's running right by my owner, right? And running fast towards my owner. So anyways.
No, it's funny, man. Like I want the girls to know. And it's interesting because it's a rare occurrence that it's safe for you to get involved like that. Like, because we know there have been other times where you've been confronted by people that they take, 5'5" blonde lady and they got no problem acting like they're going to treat you however they want to treat you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's uncanny how often it happens.
It is. And this sounds dumb, but part of the reason, not a huge reason, it's because I'm ugly, but part of the reason I keep the beard is it shuts stuff down fast when, like, in perfect example.
No, you look like a 10-year-old boy when you shave your beard.
Exactly. Zero intimidation, like zero intimidation. But like there are instances in the world, whereas the only dude in a pack of 4 with 3 girls, the amount of times that when we're out, men are blatantly checking you and Maya out, making weird comments, making little side looks there. It's granted, I'm a dude, so it's not like I've never checked out a girl in my life, but it's obvious you're a mom and a daughter. It is obvious you are out as a family. It becomes really obvious that you bring with you a massive human being walking 4 steps behind you. But part of it is I see now where I never would have seen without daughters, right? I see now how dangerous it is for girls. How not dangerous. Sorry, that's an over exaggeration. How alert you have to be in any given situation. Because any one of those, if I'm not there, any one of those guys can decide that they're going to go over and interact with you and escalate to a situation, which you may or may not want, right? It never happens when I make a point of making eye contact with them. And in some cases, it's been to the point where I've had to look at them and shake my head like, you need to move on, because it's been so, like in Paris, there was a couple of dudes, Maya especially, that they were pushing it, right? But it really makes me aware of, and I'm coming back to my original point, you don't have the ability to safely, a lot of times, I think, step in and help in situations like that, because you don't know what you're dealing with. And you've seen it yourself firsthand, right? Guys banging at your window, guys yelling at you, guys, whatever. Yeah. That doesn't happen to me, right? And it's interesting because it's behavior that should be modeled, 100% should be modeled. But how do you teach the girls to safely model it? And maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe it's not that unsafe, but all it takes is one word to the wrong person and you're getting punched in the face, right? And there's a whatever. it's very interesting to me because, yeah, I would love that the girls go out in the world and they're constantly standing up for people, but I never want them to be putting themselves at risk in a way that it could escalate.
Well, and as a psychologist, and you've seen, and I know it drives you nuts, I am more of a disarmer, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm not going to agree with somebody, but I'm definitely going to take the fight out of the fight and just, and you see it maybe as appeasement, being a martyr and just sort of pacifying the situation a little bit. But
Keep going. There's a distinction I'll make in that.
okay.
Yeah.
Whereas I see it as the fight isn't really worth, because when I was younger, I would. And I can't tell you how many times, yes, I've been punched in the face several times by men.
Not by me. I want to be real clear. Not by me.
Once I ran to you before we were dating.
That's true. That's true.
Did I get blood all over your shirt? Yeah. Like bleeding. No. Yeah. Because I would stand up. And even like pregnant with Maya, I was bullied. I wasn't standing up for something, but there was a man who chased me, and construction workers had to come because I was being
the threat
cornered.
of big, nasty looking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an amazing deterrent.
Yeah. So, I think those are my early days, and I've, had really unfortunate circumstances happen. But now just with my psychology training, it is just a matter of take the escalation out as fast as I can. And that's what I do a lot of times anyways with family. I'm teaching them to do that, with their children. But what were you going to say?
I'm the same. When it comes to most normal interactions and conflicts and stuff, I'm the exact same way. I want to disarm it and move on, right? What you see as me getting upset is specific to when those interactions that you're in the midst of are bordering or are flagrantly personal attacks at you.
Yeah.
That's what gets me upset, right? Where people are taking advantage of you and you never deserve that, right? That's where, like, if it's just someone saying, hey, I don't like the way you build this. Right. And you're like, well, let me fix that. I'm not going to be like, hey, why would you, what are you doing? You're a sucker. Why are you being nice to that person? No, you obviously got to solve that problem. But you get so many instances where people cross the line and attack you as a means of getting out of what they're responsible for doing. Right. That's what drives me nuts. So that's the only distinction I'll make.
And part of it, that's true. And sometimes it is personal. There's been a few times, as a psychologist, we are held at a higher standard.
Absolutely. But it's all the same. This is a very weird podcast.
Yeah, because this is
not.
What was your question? So sorry,
we're not going back to that question. We'll do a different episode.
Okay.
We're too deep into this now. So how do we, as the part of this duo that does not have a vagina and does not have to deal with the things that women deal with, other than this peripheral oversight, protectors, whatever, how do we teach the girls to stand up for themselves without putting themselves at risk? Is there a way to do that? Or do they, because I don't like Willow's reaction yesterday wasn't of a defiant kid. It was of a kid that was upset.
She was upset. Yeah.
She was super upset. And I don't blame her. She's 11 years old and some lady is talking at her in a really disrespectful manner. Well, she knows at this age she shouldn't respond back disrespectfully because that's not how you do it. Well, yeah, okay. But I don't want her to carry that with her for the rest of her life, right?
Well, and it's hard because part of the reason she doesn't like walking the dogs by herself is how many people, adults, and we have two big dogs. She's one little girl. And they are, even for myself, actually, they just dragged me across the street the other day. I almost got hit by a car. Like, they are big, they're pulley. She doesn't take them together anymore, but she's been yelled at more than once from an adult, about the dogs. And so there is this sort of authority piece, right? Where, not all kids are scared, but there is an authority piece where adults are, I don't want to say God, but you know what I mean? What's the word? Just...
Well, they're
to be feared, I guess. And
they're above reproach. You're not supposed to talk back to parents. And
any adult, yeah.
And any adult. And I agree with that to a degree.
Or even her principal. She accidentally called him by his first name. She thought his first name was the last name.
Yeah.
Because we actually have friends who have the same last name.
Yeah.
Several friends. actually people even on Maya's team that we see regularly, right? Like the same last name. She thought it was his last name and she got in so much trouble, but she couldn't stand up for herself. Like that's probably an example where, oh, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. I actually thought, because he was a new principal, right? So.
And any rational human being, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like you as someone that never gets called the right name. Ever. First or last. And I get called different names all the time too, right? Like people, for whatever reason, Stuart becomes my first name a lot. Whatever. I don't care. Some people get it absolutely wrong and call me something not even remotely close. I don't care, right? Like, is that a thing? Like, should I be more fiercely protective of my name? And if so, is that an infraction big enough to go after a kid? Or what? I guess it always comes back to what lesson did he teach her by giving her shit about getting his name wrong, when all he could have said was like, oh, kiddo, that's not my name.
Yeah.
And she would have been like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What is your name? My name is this. And I prefer if you address me as this. I'm so sorry. And she never would have done it again.
Yep.
And she would have liked him.
Yeah.
And she would have moved on. Now she's scared of him.
She's only had to have one interaction with him. And that was it. And she avoids him and stays away. Even just at the Halloween dance, I was going to go up, hey, let's just go ask him where the pizza is. No. Like, don't worry. We'll just go find it. Right. And it's like, and that's what she's going to remember. Even if there are little positive things, she's going to remember that one.
Yeah. Adults suck. I'm expanding it. So it's not just the parents that are the problem. Adults are the problem.
Yeah.
I agree that
I hate these sweeping generalizations.
No, I don't. But... this is the life we're leading. Every single adult on the earth sucks.
I suck.
Oh, I love you. You're good.
Okay.
But we're an exception because we're in the closet together. So it doesn't matter. Well, no, you and I suck at times too. Like, let's be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't suck ever.
Oh, maybe. There's another podcast episode we could probably schedule about how much we individually suck. No, I mean it. Like, we don't demonstrate our best selves all the time.
No.
Right? We get tired, we get stressed, we get whatever, right?
Not with kids though. Do I ever suck against kids? Never. I opened that one, but I can't think of a time. And I'm pretty self-aware and self-open.
The only time that it's, and again, this isn't like you're always like this. When you're stressed, and it's usually within the family. It's not that you're going out and
okay, I was thinking other people's
kids.
No,
you're not going around kicking other people's kids. Or
our kids, yeah, that's a different issue. Whatever.
Yeah, they get what they get. They don't get upset. Is that the rule? But I mean, it's the same as any. We get stressed and the kids take the brunt of it, or
I'm shorter.
Yeah. Or you pick fights at bedtime.
At bedtime?
Yeah.
Never.
Baby.
Oh, just going to bed. Like last night.
You get little shots in about things that you just noticed they didn't do as they're going to bed, and then it's a thing. No,
I don't think so. Right. The bed, like last night. Kate, you gotta be in bed.
She did take like an hour and a half though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was on the same page.
And it was an early morning. You looked grumpy when you left.
When I left the room?
Yeah.
I'm working with a really small material base here. I don't have a lot of emotional expression on my face. It's grumpy or less grumpy. That's it.
What was the original question? How do we something for the girls model? Stand up for ourselves safely. Yeah.
How do we model the behavior of standing up for ourselves and others in a way that is safe, right?
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So, because it is, I actually worked with a little boy not too long ago. So just another crappy adult example.
Generalizations coming through again.
I know. But like, these are the kids that I work with and my heart just goes out to them. But the teacher has a reward system. I won't go into the detail because of, just in case. Reward system.
Sure.
Susie always gets the rewards and she has several opportunities through the day to get them and she's always getting them. Yep. And she's got like 60 points. Whereas this kid has nothing. And he had a few. First of all, he has hardly any opportunities because part of it is good behavior, but part of it is doing jobs. But he only has one job that only happens infrequently. Like, it's not a daily job, right? It's if there's like an assembly that he make sure everybody gets to the, something like
Yeah.
that. How often is there an assembly? So he doesn't have the opportunities. Whereas Susie, like anytime the kids get up from their seat, she's got a job, right? So she's got 10 up. But anyways, one day, his friend got into trouble and he went up to the teacher and said, "Hey, I was there. I just want you to know what actually happened." And the teacher essentially said, "You're arguing, you lose all your points. He only had a handful of points to begin with in the first place." And I just it's so heartbreaking. And that was a time, so there wasn't any physical danger, but he was trying to stand up for his friend for something. Like, he is a loyal friend and he was trying to do the right thing. And again, what message? Like, I just feel like so many of the kids, and especially the kids who are trying so hard, are being sort of beaten into the ground. And just like, I worry if Maya went to she has gone to previous coaches to complain and nothing ever happened. That coach listened to her, but didn't do anything. This year, I don't think anything would happen,
No.
and like, and then she's going to be, or any teenager, like, oh, they're just a whiny teenager or whatever. And I fear that. So I don't know. Like, I think we can teach what's important to you, just like I do with parents, right? Know what your non-negotiables are. And those are what we're going to lay the law down. Those are what we're going to, get on their backs about, and maybe put a consequence in. We're not going to win every battle. So we want to win the war, but we got to pick and choose which battles we want to engage in. So it's based on what's most important to us. So I think that that's important too for kids, because so many things are going to crop up. So what's really important to you? Being a loyal friend? I think that's awesome if you're sticking up for a friend. But at what cost? Like, there's got to be some benefit and reward. And so we can model that. We can talk about that. We can encourage them and praise them for that. But reality is, I think it's not about, like, you're looking at the safety side of things. So,
but I think, no, this is a good expansion of it, because you're picking up on a very important component of the way kids' lives are constructed until they're adults, which is obedience, right? Yeah. And rule followers above all else. It's not free thinkers, free expression, good people. It's how well do you conform to what it is that we deem to be important. And the example of Willow and the example of the other kid are both prime examples of that teacher wasn't trying to teach. That teacher was trying to control. Yeah. Right? That to me is a massive problem. So it modifies the question slightly to be, in the face of a construct or an adult that is unwilling to modify their own behavior to treat you like an actual human being, how would you stand up for someone or yourself in a positive manner? Because it's not a safety issue, but like you touched on, there's other times that the kids have brought things forward and they've been completely dismissed.
Well, right? And it's punishing. And I think about the one kid, I know I've talked about him before, who is he's been expelled from school a few times, and he sees himself as the bad kid. He's completely taken on this persona of being the bad boy because nobody else. I've tried to ask for help from the bullies and teachers don't do anything. And so I just have to protect myself and he actually verbalizes this. A tiny little 7-year-old kid will say, "I am the only one who can protect myself. Nobody else is going to do it for me." And that's so heartbreaking. So, I mean, it's challenging because we can build these skills up, but we can't guarantee it's not going to be punished. All of these instances, these kids have been punished for obedience, right? Because adults take that. I'm the adult. I said so you do as I say. Not the collaboration piece, right? Or let's talk about this, or trying to understand the perspectives. And that's, I'm doing so many workshops just on understanding our kids' perspectives, because we might see a cat, but they see a horse. And so we got to see the horse with them. But anyways, all this to say, I wonder if it's still teaching that, modeling it, but learning to tolerate
ignorance.
No,
but in some cases it is.
But tolerating the outcome. So the importance of standing up for what's important. So still going and supporting your friend, being a loyal friend, regardless of what the outcome is. I think that's what it is, because we're always standing up what's important for us, irregardless of how other people are going to respond.
Yeah.
And so then maybe it's okay, let's do a check mark, visually cross off on a calendar, because I always love that. Something you stood up for today. It might not have gone down well. Like that woman, nothing came of it. She just screamed at me. Now there's two people she hates at the dog park, right? And now she's going to go and be indignant. She wouldn't have learned anything, but I supported him, and he felt, because he was so upset and questioning himself. I'm like, dude, no, you are here. She is here. You both have equal rights to be here. It's and so I know I supported him, and I felt like I would do it again, right? Because I know that I'm living up to what's important, right? Or who I want to be. And I guess maybe that's the focus. Yeah, sometimes we're going to get in trouble. I'm sure there's a show. What's an example of a show of a kid who like stands up for what's right?
Oh, you do that all the time.
Oh, even I was just thinking of one that we saw recently, but Malcolm in the Middle, right? The dad's, so the oldest brother's in like army boot camp school or whatever, and always getting in trouble. And the headmaster talks about how awful Francis is. And the dad was like, I don't know who you are. Like, I'm so disappointed in you, because he was just taking the headmaster and just all these things that his son had done wrong. But he later learns that Francis was always standing up for his friends. In every incident where he got in trouble, it was because he was defending his friend or supporting his friend or whatever it was. So the dad finally realized, no, actually, you know what? You are the best son I could ever have. So it's being able to look at those lessons. So even though like Francis, I mean, it was above and beyond just how much trouble he was getting, but it was always for something that was important to him.
So, okay, so that's an important distinction. And so would it make sense, as opposed, we kind of came at this from a different direction, but how valuable would it be to work with the kids on figuring out what their values or their red lines or whatever are, so that they understand that if any of these are crossed, like I almost look at it like, is there any value in creating like a value statement for the kids? Like, what do you believe in, or what do you think is important? And what would you do if any of these were, not violated? Violated sounds like such a, huge term, but just someone did something that you didn't like that was against what you consider to be important or valuable. Like, is that a method of letting them frame? So it's, I guess, not that you're trying to make it rigid, but, standing up for friends, sure, right? But also standing up for yourself, right? And what do you think that value looks like, and how would you respond? Like, is there exercises like that we could look at?
Yeah, I mean, especially for the girls, I would want to start with one at a time.
Yeah.
And like, I think of the life skills that we need. Yeah. Asking for help and being assertive are two that kids just don't have. And even the teenagers and young adults that I'm working with, even little things like examples that I start asking them is like, okay, hey, let's say you go to the store and you need white chocolate, let's say, but you can't find the white chocolate. Would you go up to somebody and ask for it? They're like, oh, no, because they don't want to bother anybody, right? So even just such small things like that. So I think it would be focusing on, maybe something like that, because that's important. And I mean, I don't want to get into the whole equity, diversity, inclusion stuff and oppression and things like that. Wow. It's actually quite interesting. What?
You're taking us on a real serious turn here.
Well, it's just all front of mind right now, but just with other things that I've got going on. But, I never really thought of it until they think everything was normalized. Me being a girl was always normalized. So I shouldn't be as fast as the boys. I shouldn't be as strong as the boys. And I'm going to come back to that point in a second. But you had made a comment about Scarlett Johansson with the Marvel movies.
Yeah, where she's getting paid less and then had to fight for it.
Yeah, and then fighting for it. And I'm like, well, 20 million or whatever she was getting paid. I'm like, well, that, should be good enough. Like, why does she need more money? But then thinking about it, you're right. Like, just because it's not the amount of money per se, it's the principle.
100% it's the principle.
And that got me thinking. So yeah, in the Army, I was harassed quite significantly because I could run in a sprint race. I usually didn't win. Again, a lot of boys, but not all the boys. An endurance race, though, I could run forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I could keep up with them, but I quickly learned to stay at the back and just jog slowly. And one day we had a visiting captain who was running at the back. And we were like 10K in. And I mean, we've got our big 50-pound backpacks. And I like was doing fine. It's back of the pack, like it's slow anyway, right? And he's like, is this easy for you? I'm like, yeah. Why are you back here? Because the faster ones, stronger ones are usually at the front. I'm like, because it's just safer. Right. And so, I guess that was normalized. And so from that one comment, I just started looking at how many times I have actually been oppressed. And it's never even crossed my mind before. And so for me, it's like, no, own your power, girls. I want them to be able to. And I worry that maybe they don't. And I see it in boys too. Like it's not
totally,
even.
It's not exclusive to girls. Like let's talk as children. But I mean, we obviously are more tuned into the girls because we have girls. But
so right now we're working with Willow. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want to go
first? No.
Just about, and she's starting to learn, shoot, I should have said what I wanted because we were accommodating for a long time because I know I'll just pick something really easy. I know you wanted that ice cream. So here you go, kiddo. Yeah. Here's the ice cream. Oh, thank you. But we're not doing that anymore. We know that she wants something and we don't do anything, even though it breaks my heart because I know she'll be so upset that she'll miss out on an opportunity. Like even Disneyland, she really wanted to see Lion King so badly. But no, it's okay. It's okay. Because she just thought about what everybody wanted to, but she still talks about it. That I wish that I had just said, no, Mom, I really do want to go see the Lion King show.
Well, we teach Maya the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's what I would start with.
Okay.
What were you going to say first?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, sorry. So, I mean, those are natural opportunities and they come up a lot with Willow, right? Like, absolutely. I should have, even just last weekend or sometime recently, there was like, I should have said something. And now she is starting to, okay,
Well, part of it is she's realizing that her thought process about it being a no all the time, or they're just going to say no, isn't necessarily the case. Because the thing is, when it is a no, we give a reason. Like, it's not just us saying no to say no. It's, hey, man, we're not going to get ice cream because literally we just had cheesecake with dinner. We don't need that. And she go, oh, yeah. Right. But I think that for her is important for her to understand the why behind it, to help her understand that asking for it isn't a scary thing.
Right.
Yes or no is to your earlier point, if she understands that the important thing is that she raises it, not necessarily the outcome after she raises it, that's the more important piece, right? Because she can't control the outcome.
Yeah.
Right. She can only control the initiation.
And I think for the times, just because this is something that I know we're working on more consciously, is rewarding her actually engaging in that behavior. So when she does say, hey, can I have the ice cream? Dude, you know what? That was great asking, because I know that was really hard. I mean, ice cream now would not be a problem. But if it is something, you know what? That was really good. If I could honor it, I would in the moment, or just say, hey, why don't we, like if it's to go to the mall to get something, why don't we go to the mall? Like we're literally going to your sister's game right now, but why don't we go to the mall tomorrow? So I would reinforce those instances when they're first engaging in that skill. But there's lots of other things like asking for help. Maybe I love having a reciprocity ring, or even just, you could just have a wall with Post-it notes and, like, hey, I need help with, and you put your name. So maybe Dad needs help with shoveling the driveway.
Well,
what were you going to say?
They're going to say nothing because I do it all really well.
Shoveling the driveway. And then you put it up. And so whoever can honor that will write their name or bring the sticky to you, right? And hey, Mom needs help with organizing the Tupperware. I don't know. And the girls, like having something like that, I usually recommend it into a bigger classroom. I know the girls would probably never look at that, but maybe we start with fun jobs. Like, hey, I need someone to come help me pick out the ice cream that we're going to get for dinner today, or like after dinner, right? So then they're engaged and they're looking at it. So it's just creating it, making it motivating at first, right? Let's not start with crappy jobs. Maybe we're starting with actually fun, cool things.
You were legit just trying to find a reason to use Post-it notes around the house, aren't you?
I love Post-it notes. Yeah, I do. Post-it notes and peanut butter. I should be like...
Sponsored?
Yeah.
Peanut butter is going to kill you, though.
I know.
Okay, so to maybe summarize, because we've been diving into this for a bit.
Sorry.
No,
this
really
is sidetracked here.
No, I didn't really have a plan, so this was fine. So, I mean, it comes down to a few things. For the adults listening, don't be so rigid. Just be a little bit reflective on your interactions with kids. As a general rule, that's not to say kids need to run wild and be lawless, but it's not always about giving them shit. And then from a kid's perspective, it's essentially just mapping out what it is that they consider to be important, strategizing with them how they would try and adhere to that, and then also give them the opportunity to ask for help when they need it. Yeah. Right.
And to be assertive.
And to be assertive.
I would start with those. And so, you're capitalizing on natural opportunities. Just like if Willow wants something, we are waiting for her to legit ask about it, and then feel, and then we can empathize with the disappointment with her later. But we can also create opportunities as well. So being able to practice, okay, we are going to go to the grocery store and you're going to have to ask for help, or, whatever it is. So like some obscure, go find me this brand of coconut chips from this part of the world.
Yeah.
Go, right? And then like reinforce just the act of persevering and asking for help, even though it was awkward. Yeah. Hopefully there's something of value in this.
I think hopefully. Who knows?
It was just my frustration with adults, but
if not, our one listener can write in and let us know.
Alrighty.
Excellent job today. If
you guys as listeners have questions, join our Facebook group. Let us know, because we are literally just flying by the seat of our pants most of the time.
But it's helpful, right? Like we've got ideas on what people want to hear more of. We want to incorporate that. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Let us know. More of me, more of just how good I am. I've heard a lot of feedback about that. A lot of people really surprised with what I bring to the table here. Mainly because they think I'm a moron, and they're like, oh man, you're actually not that dumb, but your wife is the reason we listen. And I'm like, I know. I know. All right.
Good day.
Good day.